Um, Hi, my name is Laura Quick, and I'm one of the tutors in Theology and Religion at Worcester College. So, Worcester College is one of the larger colleges for the study of theology and religion at the University of Oxford. Myself, I teach Hebrew Bible or the Old Testament, and I'm joined by Dr. Peter Groves, who's our tutor in early and modern Christian doctrine. Dr. Afifi Alakiti teaches Islam, and finally, Dr. Mary Marshall is our tutor for the New Testament. And so together we provide expertise in a number of different areas relating to the academic study of religion in the college. But today I'm going to try to provide some answers for some of the most common questions that we get asked about studying theology and religion at the University of Oxford, and especially at Worcester College. So something that I often get asked about is my own background. Why is it that I study theology and religion? I joined the college in September 2019 in order to start teaching Hebrew Bible. But actually, prior to that, I was a student at Worcester. So I've been a member of the community of theologians in the college in a number of different guises for quite a few years now. And I first got interested in studying the Bible because I am, and I've always been interested in studying the ancient world. I actually initially came to university in order to study classics, so ancient Greece and Rome. But I increasingly became interested in the Bible because I'm really intrigued by the way that the Bible is both ancient and modern. So the Bible is ancient, obviously, it's several thousand years old, but it's also modern in the sense that it continues to shape and influence the modern world. Now, when I make this claim, sometimes some of my friends are perhaps not so convinced by the continuing relevance of the Bible for the modern world. But actually, I would argue that even for those who may never have actually opened and read a single page of the Bible, in some ways, they've still been influenced and shaped by the Bible. So the Bible influences certain phrases that we use in everyday speech, even if we're not actually aware of their origin in the Bible. The expression that there's no rest from the wicked is actually a quotation of the prophet Isaiah. It was the prophet Jeremiah who first asked, "Can a leopard change its spots?" The expression, "pride comes before a fall," is from the book of Proverbs. And so the Bible's had a huge influence on the modern world. It continues to influence the modern world. And therefore, I'm going to claim that the Bible is both ancient and modern. And that's why it was so intriguing for me to study it. And I suppose that brings us quite naturally to another very common question that I receive about studying theology and religion. And that's, what does it actually involve? What does the academic study of theology and religion entail? And I think the first thing to say here is that it is not necessary to have studied theology and religion prior to coming to university. So we assume no prior knowledge of theology and religion. And actually, I myself had never studied religion in school. I'd never studied religion until I came to university. And actually, I would say that in some ways, it's quite difficult to claim existing expertise in all areas of theology and religion. I personally would not claim to have expertise in all areas of theology and religion myself. And that's because theology and religion is the ultimate interdisciplinary subject. It's a really, really broad subject. At a really obvious level, this means that you can study a range of different religious traditions. So you can study Christianity or Judaism, Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, and so on. So traditions from a variety of very diverse geographical regions and that existed at different periods of time. But actually the tools that we utilize in order to study these traditions are themselves also incredibly varied in theology and religion. So if I use my own discipline of the Hebrew Bible as an example, one of the ways that we can study the Hebrew Bible is to explore its ancient context. So we can investigate the background of the composition of the Bible. And this might include the study of ancient languages. So we can study ancient Hebrew, we can study other ancient Near Eastern languages in order to help us better understand and translate the text of the Bible. This can also include comparative study with literature from other cultures in the ancient Near East. So we could look at literature from ancient Egypt or from Babylon in order to better contextualize biblical texts. We can utilize archaeological evidence in order to try and explore and unpack the history of ancient Israel. we can utilise methods drawn from anthropology and sociology in order to reconstruct the social world which produced biblical literature. So already when we're studying the Bible in its ancient context, we can draw upon a huge variety of different methodological tools. But I've also said that the Bible is an ancient and a modern document. And so we can also look at the ways in which the Bible has been used and sometimes also abused over the centuries. And so we can explore the influence of the Bible in literature. We can look at the influence of the Bible in art or in film. In order to study this might mean we draw on disciplines developed from film studies or from the study of literature, from art history. And so when we're engaged in the study of theology and religion, we're really drawing on and utilising methods and ideas from across the humanities, across the study of the humanities. So I might claim that the study of theology and religion is the ultimate humanistic discipline. And what that means is that there's actually a lot of freedom and potential within theology and religion to really shape the degree according to your own interests. Now, at the University of Oxford, everybody who studies theology and religion in the first year studies more or less the same thing. And this sets us up, this introduces us to a range of the different disciplines within theology and religion, so that in the further stages of the degree, you can go on and really focus on your areas of interest. The purpose of the first year is to sort of set you up with the basics so that you can go on and tailor the degree according to your own interests. So everybody in the first year of the degree will study a course on the Bible, Introduction to the Study of the Bible. This introduces students to the academic study of the Old and New Testaments and some of the different methodologies that we utilize in order to explore these texts. Another paper that everybody studies in the first year is The Figure of Jesus Through the Centuries. So this looks at Jesus as a figure in history, but also as a subject of imaginative and philosophical reflection in Christianity and other traditions throughout the years. And so this is your opportunity to look at film, at art, at literature, and the ways in which the figure of Jesus has creatively inspired some of these texts and products. The final paper that everybody studies in the first year is called Religion and Religions. And the purpose of this paper is to provide an introduction to the academic study of religion, as well as to introduce us to 4 of the major world religions. So you look at Judaism, Islam, Hinduism, and Buddhism for this paper. And this means that at the end of the first year, you'll have been introduced to all of the major areas of theology and religion. The final module that students study in the first year of the degree is a language, and here there is some choice. So you can choose between studying New Testament Greek, Biblical Hebrew, Church Latin, Quranic Arabic, Sanskrit, and Pali. So once you've done this first year, in the second and third year of the degree, there's actually no compulsory modules at all. So you can choose from a huge variety of different options and really tailor the degree according to your interests. So some popular options include gender and power in biblical texts, feminist approaches to theology and religion, science and religion, philosophy of religion, the psychology of religion. And there are also options for studying particular traditions in more detail. So for example, Buddhism in space and time, or Islam in contemporary society, and many more. We have a huge range of different modules, and the faculty website can provide more information on the various subjects available. And so in answer to the question, what do we actually study? Really, it's up to you. You can go away and choose whatever you're interested in and make the degree your own. So another question might be, how is the subject actually taught? At Worcester, because we have wide-ranging expertise among the tutors, including the Bible, but also Christian theology and the study of Islam, this means that a lot of the teaching is actually done in college. And this creates a wonderful sense of community among students and faculty. We all work together regularly, we all know each other really, really well. And so this teaching is mostly through tutorials. So tutorials are small groups of perhaps 2 or 3 students who meet with a tutor to discuss a particular topic. Typically, students will have prepared an essay prior to coming to the tutorial, so they'll have thought about the topic in detail, and they're therefore prepared to really interrogate the subject in great detail with the help of a tutor. Some elements of the course are taught in classes, and this is particularly the case for language tuition. And these classes are organised centrally by the Faculty of Theology and Religion. So this means that students from all colleges across Oxford will come together to study languages. And the final element of teaching are lectures. So lectures, again, are centrally organised by the Faculty of Theology and Religion, meaning that students from all over Oxford, from all colleges, come together in order to hear from a particular subject specialist about a particular topic. So in terms of how that works out for contact hours each week, in the first year of study, that roughly equates to 1 tutorial a week. So 1 tutorial in which you'll have read some primary and secondary literature and written an essay in advance. Around 3 hours of language classes with associated homework and reading, and about 3 to 4 hours of lectures each week. So there's quite a lot of independent study as well as contact hours in which you can really interrogate these subjects. Now, a final thing that I often get asked is about the application. What is it that we actually are looking for in applications? So as mentioned already, you don't have to have studied theology previously in school. And so that means that we're, at this point, not looking really for expertise. We're not looking for any prior knowledge in theology and religion, as much as potential to study theology and religion. So do you have the potential to study this degree? And one of the key things here is enthusiasm. You're going to spend a lot of time, 3 years, thinking about and looking at religions and religious texts. You really need to enjoy the study of religion. And so what we would like to hear from candidates is what aspects of religion particularly interest you and why. We want to demonstrate enthusiasm for the subject. And so with this in mind, we're always particularly excited to meet candidates who've gone away on their own outside of the normal school curriculum to explore any aspects of theology and religion that they find particularly intriguing. And there are many ways of demonstrating your enthusiasm. I think it's only natural to fixate on the interview aspect of the application, simply because it's a high-stress situation. We've become fixated on it. But I think it's important to stress that tutors consider all aspects of the application. So this includes the interview, but also the submitted work that we ask from candidates prior to the interview stage, as well as the UCAS form, which includes a personal statement and qualifications. So we take quite a global view of the application. And so with this in mind, there are a number of different opportunities for you to demonstrate your potential and express your enthusiasm for the study of theology and religion. So this was a brief guide to some of the key questions that I'm asked about studying theology and religion. But please don't hesitate to contact me if you have any other queries or questions about theology at Worcester. Thank you very much.